the Dragons. In goal, number 32, Tyler Richmond. At left D, number 24, Brady Doyle. At right D, number 25, Aiden Surratt. Left wing, number 29, Ryan Simbuco. Center, number 17, Evan Mugger. And at right wing, number 6, Matt Harris. And now, the starters for the Golden Rams. In goal, number 35, Jay Rossi. At left D, number 15, Kenny Duffield. At right D, number 5, Joel Hicks. Left wing, number 7, Brennan Whitaker. Center, number 55, Tyler Carter. And right wing, number 22, Zach Fern. The CLA Center promotes good sportsmanship by athletes, coaches, officials, and spectators. Please remain respectful at all times. Hockey is a fast-paced sport. Opposition individual players surface and enter the stands. Please do alert at all times. At this time, if you could please rise, direct your attention to the American flag as we honor our nation with the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, everybody. You're watching the ECHL Championship live here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting here on YouTube. My name is Carl Pascal, joined alongside by Michael Nistico, here for the championship game here between the number 2 Westchester University Golden Rams and the number 4 Drexel University Dragons. A big matchup here for the ECHA Championship, all-PA matchup here at the Steel Ice Center here in Bethlehem, PA. We're set for a great one here, Michael.
I am so fired up. The energy in the building tonight is truly immaculate. Standing room only. I mean, both teams have lots of friends and family here in attendance, a local rivalry. I mean, this is going to be nothing short but of amazing. This is going to be a great time. Championship game, Battle of PA. This is what it's all about.
It certainly is. As we get ready to go here for the initial draw of this one, we'll get more into the game as we get going, but I'll hand it over to you for the play-by-play here for this one, Michael.
Here we go. It is the Golden Rams winning that opening face-off, but quickly turning it over. A good defense to poke that away. Drexel in their navy blue with the gold stripe, and Westchester in their golden purple. Good outlet pass through the neutral zone. We're going to be feeling a lot of those hits right in front of us here at the red line. We got the best view in the house.
Oh, yeah, right in front of the red line here, like you said, Michael. I mean, and one thing for this game is, we'll get that one right out of play quickly. One thing about this game so far is, at least going into this game, you look at the scores for both these teams. We'll start with Westchester as the higher seed, as the number 2 coming in. 5-4 win against NYU back in the quarterfinals, and then a 5-2 win against Villanova in last weekend's semifinals. Really good wins for them. They played excellent against number 3 Villanova. And then for Drexel, they have been storybook so far here for these Drexel Dragons, defeating George Mason 9-1 in the 4-versus-5 game in the quarterfinals, and then a 5-1 win over the number 1 seeded Rhode Island University Rams last week with a dominant performance over them, quarterbacked by their man in net, the 32 of Tyler Richmond.
You got to ride the hot hand. We were talking about it before the game. Got to ride the hot hand in Tyler Richmond, 32. Great story for him that we'll touch on as the game progresses. But definitely looking forward to seeing him continue the streak that he's on. Long outlet pass. Good chance and a shot and a paddle save. First real opportunity from either side. But this one was denied by Jake Rossi.
And that was a good look there for Drexel as they try and get the first salvo fired here in this one. And one thing for Drexel that they did really well against Rhode Island is they played the body well, and their forecheck was really good. Their defensemen on their forecheck played super high, especially when it was coming out of the zone. They were playing nowhere near the red line. They were playing basically, when we go back the other direction, at the logo here for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. And apologize about the camera going in and out. We're fixing that as we speak. So apologies for that, as we'll get that fixed ASAP in just a few as this is dumped into the zone. But like I was saying, Drexel with a dominant win against URI with some really, really good forecheck. And then for Westchester, it's been their speed and it's been their size and their physicality as this is held down at the cage by Richmond. And then we'll get a whistle.
First time we see a little extracurriculars. Pretty mild there, but taking exception to the late poke at Richmond's glove. But as my partner Carollo said, we'll apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll do our best to keep you guys in the loop as that shot high off of the blocker of Richmond, still in play in the corner. Drexel being pressured behind their own zone, but a nice move using the speed. That was Soretti. Backhand shot on a good save on the other side by Rossi. Both goaltenders using their blockers effectively, as that one's off the glove of Richmond. A high rising shot. He couldn't hold on to it, so play is continuing. Long sauce pass through the neutral zone, and the Dragons move in.
And shots currently 2-1 right now, or 2-2 as they add another one onto the board here for Westchester, as a good save there yet again. That time there for Rossi.
Either man able to maintain that possession, a 2-on-2 battle right in front of the Westchester bench, but it comes out to the red line where Drexel brings it in. Oh, tried to make a dipsy doodle there was Burkhan, but couldn't do so. It was denied by the great defense there from the Golden Rams.
And that was a good look there for Drexel as this bounces back into the zone, and a little bit just of a feeling out process so far, it seems, here through the first 4 minutes of this game. And neither team has generated really any ozone pressure just yet.
We got a chance around. Oh, a spinning shot. Hutchinson has been all over the puck in this offensive zone on this shift. He made a good stick play before to intercept the pass, and that was what was led to that 30 seconds or so for the Dragons of pressure, as he's bringing it up again through the neutral zone, dumps it on net into the midsection of Rossi, and he'll just swallow it up and take the whistle. Well, these two teams are, familiar with each other, played each other twice in the regular season, and it was Westchester's favorite for that. They've won both games, one in overtime, but Carollo, we were talking about it before the game that those games were extremely close, both separated by 1 goal.
Yeah, just a 1-goal game for both of them as Westchester tries to fly into the zone here. Quick shot, that went right off the paddle there of Richmond, went right off the backside of the paddle. But
sky high.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, 1-goal game for both times they played each other. 2-1 win for Westchester earlier in the year, back in November, and then a 3-2 overtime win for Westchester on January 31st. So they've seen each other fairly recently. They got to watch each other's games last week as we get into this game here. Just about 5 minutes into this game, shots currently 5-3. And like I said, a little bit of a feeling out process right now.
Yeah, neither team, like you mentioned, able to maintain that solid ozone pressure. But the feeling out process, and you know what, this is the finals. I think both teams are well aware of that. They're not trying to make any kind of mistakes. Keep it simple. When in doubt, make the simple play, nothing too cute. Chance in front, and that was blocked into the netting, out of play. 14:45 to go in the opening period. Shots are now even up at 5 apiece, with the face-off going to be to the right of Richmond. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, as off the face-off, that goes high off of the end boards, but stays in play, did not hit the netting. Now behind the net, chance in front, and that one goes wide. Richmond might have got a piece of it. It's still in play. It's a battle behind the boards. 2-on-2 battle in the corner. Nobody coming free with it just yet. Golden Rams had it for a moment. They have a chance in front, tried to find somebody in front, but nobody was home. Drexel moves out through the neutral zone, but intercepted. That was Gavin Tarity, number 6 for the Golden Rams. Dumped in, no icing. Drexel slows things down behind their netminder. Trying to chip it in, but it was denied. But Drexel moves in, out to the point. Good shimmy shake. They shoot, they score! Drexel strikes first. 1-0 Dragons. It's Will Mikolas who was leading the charge for the Dragons. He gets the opening tally here in the finals. Golden Rams come up with the faceoff after conceding the first goal. Back in the neutral zone. Captain Matt Harris for the Dragons brings it in onto his backhand, drops it. Shot into the midsection and covered up. Shot coming from the point there from one of the assistant captains. That's Ryan Sambuco. Face off to the right of Rossi. Golden Rams win the draw. High into the air through the neutral zone. Oh, it takes a bad bounce for the Golden Rams, as they had a great chance on the long outlet pass for Logan Myers. The update for the technical issues, we're having an issue with the camera, so we're doing a quick swap of the cameras. So we appreciate your patience. I'm doing my best to keep you guys informed as best as I can. As we have an intercepted pass, chance the other way for the Golden Rams. Have numbers. Good back check from Drexel and a tumble into the corner. Play continues. Slow getting up in the corner is a member of the Golden Rams. Can't see the number just yet. He is still down. Slow to get up, and we finally get a whistle. It's Logan Myers, one of the alternate captains. He took an awkward spill in the corner. We'll hope he's okay. He's really writhing in pain right now in the corner. So we have one of the doctors coming out to take a look, make sure that Logan Myers is okay. Crowd starts to applaud as Myers is up to his knees a little bit, but he's still really slow. Looks like he's flexing his right leg. Now he's up on one knee, 1 foot up. He's up on his own power, skating off on his own power as well, so you really like to see that. Not putting a whole lot of weight on his right leg, flexing the knee. We'll keep an eye on the status of Logan Myers as this game goes on. Hope to see he can come back in this game. Hopefully just can flex that out over on the bench and come back into this finals game. You never want to see injuries ever, but especially in the finals. These guys work so hard all year long to get to this point, and you never want to see an injury. Face off outside of the zone. Dragons win it. They flip it out as there's a battle at the blue line. Now it's Hutchinson moving it forward. A shot from an odd angle and covered up by Rossi. That was the big man Jimmy Jacobs on the shot for Drexel. The other alternate captain for Drexel. 50-50 draw, and the Golden Rams come up with it as they were able to move in on the circle. Kept in at the point. Wristed, tried to get through traffic, but it was blocked. Another one, good block from the Golden Rams. That was Aiden Gaffney on the block off his foot. Good save off the paddle to push it into the corner. Golden Rams move out. Odd man rush, chipped ahead into the corner. It's behind. Lost an edge into the opposing corner. Drexel comes up with it. Being pressured. Good strong forecheck from the Golden Rams. We got a hit right in front of us. First of many to come. That one was Sparrow, Anthony Sparrow, number 17. He has a shot through traffic, just whizzed wide. Still with the Golden Rams. Westchester in the corner. 2-on-2 in the quarter. Battle for possession. Comes out to the point for the Golden Rams. Wrist shot through traffic was blocked into the far corner. At the circle, a shot and a save by Richmond. Backhanded out. This is going to go all the way down for an icing against Drexel. We just passed the 9-minute mark here in the first period. 1-0 Drexel lead after the Mikolas goal. Shots are 8 apiece. Draw one by Drexel. They retreat behind their own net. Trying to move out, but again, the strong forecheck from Westchester making it difficult for the Dragons. They get to the red line, they dump the puck in and go for a change. Big hit behind the play. That came from Lazine. Kept in nicely at the blue line. That was the goal scorer, Mikolas. Now it's the forecheck from Drexel, making it difficult for Westchester to move out of the zone. They force a turnover at the red line, but Drexel turns it right back over. All the way down, no icing. As we approach the halfway mark through the first period. Seems like our cameras are back up and running, so glad to see that and glad to have my partner in crime back on the headset with me.
Yeah, trying to get things fixed here. Sorry again for the technical difficulties. Having some trouble with the camera. We were having it last weekend as well, and we were trying to fix it and had a fix for it, but it seems like it does not want to cooperate, of course, on game time. We were set up about an hour beforehand, and everything was fine.
Naturally.
So, of course, naturally, like you said, Michael, as the game starts, everything wants to go on the fritz. But, again, apologize for the problems with the camera as I missed it with the goal. I was up there trying to fix the camera for the Drexel 1-0 lead, and as that one goes up over the bar. We were talking about it earlier before the game. Drexel, if they can get the lead early, has a chance to secure the title here in this one. I mean, Westchester is obviously going to try and push back hard the other direction, but we'll see what we can do here in this one. And Westchester have to try and play from behind here in this first period with 9:10 left to go.
Still plenty of game to go, but when you're facing a hot goaltender the other way, Richmond on cue makes a big save. Facing a hot goaltender who's only let up 2 goals all playoffs, as we have a whistle for, I believe, a hand pass. Not sure who I heard on the ice. I believe it was a member of Westchester trying to fire his guys up. I couldn't see where it came from, but saying we got to start playing hockey right now. A couple other words I can't say on air, but just trying to fire them up, feeling like, hey, we're not playing the game we should be playing right now for the Golden Rams, and you know what? Just get back to the basics. Chance from an odd angle, good save from Rossi. It's still in play behind the net. Goes trickling into the corner as Westchester will be able to clear the puck out.
That shot came from Sambuco, who leads the entire ACHA M1 in scoring and in points. Currently 65 points so far this year. Leads the entire nation in points here in the ECHA M1. Also tied for the league lead in assists with 37.
There's a nice move there from the Golden Owls. One almost led to their best chance of the evening, but this one was flipped in right into the midsection and glove of Rossi, and he'll take the whistle. 8:03 left in the opening stanza.
And for the Golden Rams, have to try and find a way to respond here, obviously. Down a goal here with 8:03 left to go. I mean, there's obviously still a ton of time left in this game. We're just over the halfway mark of the opening period here. Only 12 minutes into this game. But if you're Westchester, I mean, you saw how Drexel played last week. Have to try and find a way to take advantage of them a little bit on fast breaks. That's what Rhode Island did a little bit in their chances, and even though Drexel played a really good game against Rhode Island, you have to try and find a way to kind of take advantage of some of their mistakes here and there, because you know they're going to make them. And if you're Westchester, you got to try and use your size and speed to do that.
Yeah, and they just tried to use their size right there. That was Anthony Sparrow putting a open ice hit there, but both men stood their ground. Nobody went down, but that had to feel that on both ends of that hit, as we have a whistle here. Not sure what the call was.
Looks like it was offside.
Offside. Oh, so that's going to be all the way down, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep, it looks like
they're going to say it's an intentional offside, and this will come all the way back here.
Face-off will be to the left of Richmond. Well, you mentioned it, Carola. The Westchester has to try and do something to beat the hot netminder right now for Drexel. He's been on a tear these playoffs since he's been called upon, and he's earned this start in the finals as a beautiful chance. What a move to even get the shot onto Rossi, as we have some pushing and shoving after the fact.
Yeah, that was Kozitsky, who drove in hard and got a good look there on that partial break flying past the Demon. Like you said, good move to break through, and a good shot there in onto Rossi. He's been really good so far for Westchester this year for the Golden Rams, and got them to the 2 seed. They were pretty much the 1 here in the ECHA almost the entire year, and then Rhode Island in the final game of the season ended up stealing that top spot, and Westchester basically trying to say here in this game, we deserved it, and go back-to-back. They won last year's ECHA championships as they look to try and do so and repeat here in this season for 25-26 as we get another whistle.
Yeah, and on the other side of that for Drexel, this is their first year in the ECHA, so pretty successful first year, I would say, to make it to the finals, being the 4th seed, beating the number 1 seed, like we've mentioned, Rhode Island, and now facing pretty much the 1B, if you will, the number 2 seed in Westchester, as there's a big hit behind the net. That was Jimmy Jacobs dishing out the big hit, as it's looking like the physicality is starting to pick up. Oh, some big-time extra stuff going on behind the play. No penalties. Arm stayed down.
And that was Zach Crane getting shoved to the ice there by the 7 of Pietro Baccarin. And definitely some extra stuff, as like you said, the physicality is starting to ramp up a little bit here in the first. I mean, you kind of had to feel this was going to come at some point, where the physicality was going to start taking a jump here.
There's another one. And
another big hit.
I think we're past the feeling out process now, and now it's time to start throwing the body. And both teams are understanding that mission, I think, right now, because we're seeing some big-time hits thrown on both ends.
And I mean, Westchester is really good at doing that. Another one. That could have been a penalty, too. That was close. That was close for sure, as that was Crane again who got taken down. But got to be careful a little bit here along the boards, try not to get your stick up on some of these hits. Most of them, all of them have been clean so far. The only one that could have been a penalty is maybe Crane getting knocked down to the ice and the couple extra shoves after. I mean, Tone being set in another big hit there, and especially for Westchester, they've got the bodies, they've got the speed, and they like to play physical. That's their game. That's their MO, and they're going to do that here in this one to try and get themselves back in the game.
We approach 5 minutes remaining in the first period. Drexel still holding on to the 1-0 lead, looking for more as the physicality has picked up a lot here in the last 2 or 3 minutes. And the refs are letting the game go as we got a chance here. Another nice move, backhand shot, and a great save by Rossi. Great play from the captain, Matt Harris, and it goes the other way for the Golden Rams.
And that was a good look there for the captain as the Rams look to try and respond here.
Odd man rush, looks like a man behind the play for Drexel, went to the bench slow, off the post! It was Surrett that went to the bench for Drexel. He's in some pain. I can see he's got his head down over on the bench right now. Hope to see he's okay. Long outlet pass. That'll negate an icing.
That's Gavin Tarity down there with a good job to beat it.
3-on-3, stopped at the line. No offsides, they stay on side, and a shot through traffic, it's still loose. Golden Rams scoop it up and clear all the way down. A rolling, bouncing puck doesn't have enough steam for an icing. 4 minutes remaining in the first period of the ECHA Finals. It's 1-0 Drexel, as they are the road team here tonight. No icing, Richmond comes out, backhands it behind his own net. And Lippy moves it out. Dumped in at the red line, bounced over the big paddle of Rossi. Using the ref as a screen there. And the Golden Owls move out. Nobody home on the loose puck. Swiped away, still with the Golden Rams. Dragons playing tight defense. Good save there from Richmond off the big pads and then flipped out. Golden Rams are going for a change there. They had to hold up or they could have had too many men as this one was flipped onto the Drexel bench and beyond.
We'll have to see where this faceoff ends up here. It seems like it's going to end up at center ice. Here with 3:01 left to go. Shots currently 15-12 in favor of Drexel. They've got the 1-0 lead right now, trying to hold on to it in the final 3 minutes of this period and take a 1-0 lead heading into intermission. And this is the game plan here for Drexel. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, trying to get the lead here was the biggest thing for them starting this game. After 2 great games in the quarterfinals and semifinals, that's one of the ways that they beat up on URI in the semis, where they scored early, scored often, were able to take advantage of them. And for Westchester, have to just try and respond here with some good forechecking into the zone and get some more shots on goal. You know Richmond is going to make a bunch of saves, as that one sailed out there off the blocker of Rossi, but Richmond has only allowed 2 goals here in the entire playoffs so far. You got to just throw everything on net at him and try and create some rebounds, create some chaos in front, and try and find a way to get a dirty goal in front. Go to the dirty areas, try and play some close hockey in front of that, and look for some good options.
Absolutely, especially when you got a hot goaltender, and Drexel's defense, at least through this first period we've seen, this shot goes whizzing over the crossbar of Rossi. But Drexel's defense has been tight, and their sticks are in the lanes. If you're Westchester, like you said, Carollo, you just got to start throwing pucks on net no matter where you are. Get an ugly one, get a greasy one. You might get a tip in, it might bounce off of a defenseman, who knows. But when you're, facing a hot goaltender right now in Richmond, you just got to throw everything towards them. As we had a whistle, and the faceoff stays in the offensive zone for Drexel.
And that came off its mooring. Saw that a couple times. As we'll get a stoppage here off that draw. Looks like chase from the circle is Mudrick.
Harris will come in, but he's getting, nope, they switch right back. Golden Rams win the draw, swing it around their netminder. 2 minutes to go. Intercepted in the neutral zone. They touch up. Sent around. Harris is there. He's holding on to it. He takes a hit. I think he had a hard time getting his stick on the puck as it was almost too close to the boards for him. So that comes out to the point and then into the opposite corner. Tried to keep that in at the blue line, but couldn't do so. That was the goal scorer, William Mikolas. Strong forecheck from both teams, but the Dragons really putting on the pressure and forcing some turnovers and even just making it difficult to get out of the D zone. The Golden Rams do so here, but they lose the puck quickly and it's sent all the way down for an icing off the stick of Ben Burkon, with 1:19 remaining in the first. Lots of shots on net for both teams for a first period of play. 17-12 in favor of Drexel. They have the 1-goal lead to boot as the Golden Rams won the face-off in the O zone and try to cycle the puck around. They get it below the goal line, out to the top of the circle. A shot through traffic, a good save from Richmond. A second one, and the puck is still in play. In the slot, bouncing around, and it goes in! We just talked about it, Carolla. You got to get to the greasy areas, and it looks like Westchester has tied this up with a greasy goal, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I think they may call this one back here. They're going to wave it off. They're going to say it was touched in by a high stick, so no goal here for Westchester, and we stay a 1-0 game. Immediately waved off there after the referees talked about it.
Yep, right away.
I was gonna say beforehand, before the refs even mentioned it, it looked like it could have been a high stick.
Yeah, there was bouncing around. Everybody was looking up, definitely higher than the crossbar. But yeah, there. So it stays 1-0 Drexel. There was exactly a minute left, and it's dumped in on net of Richmond as we're in the final minute of play. But even for Westchester, getting the goal taken away, that is some momentum. But it stings for them to not get that goal on the board. But hey, you're doing something right as you're getting the puck in the dirty areas, just like we just mentioned. As we got 30 seconds left in the first period, as Drexel looks for an outlet pass, but this hits the ceiling.
And that'll stay in the zone here for that face-off after it hit up into the rafters. Shot 17-15 right now here in favor of Drexel. But like we've been saying, with Westchester having to try and come back here from down 1, like we mentioned, even though the goal got taken off the board, getting to the dirty areas. There was a lot of chaos in front of Richmond there, and he couldn't see that shot from the point. It ended up getting knocked around after it bounced up into the air. Absolutely. And ended up being a high stick as that one sails off of him again. But that's what Westchester's going to have to try and do as we close out the final seconds here of this period.
Westchester trying to get one more shot, but it couldn't do so as that was blocked. It comes out to the neutral zone, and that will do it for the opening 20 of play here in the ECHA Finals. It's 1-0 right now for the Drexel University Dragons. Shots are even at 17 each, as Westchester had a goal on the board for a moment, but it was taken away from a high stick. Don't go anywhere. Second period of play coming up next.
Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the ECHA Finals here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting, live here on YouTube. Carolo Pascal joined alongside by Michael Nistico. Back here for period number 2. A 1-0 lead in favor of the Drexel University Dragons. Big 1-0 lead for Drexel. Coming into the second period, still got a little bit of time before we get into the action here for the second. Once again, want to apologize for the camera issues that we were having in the first period for about six-ish minutes or so. As we have figured out the problem. There was a cable issue. So hopefully, knock on wood, we should be good throughout the rest of this game. Knock on wood, like I said. So should be good to go. We were good through the rest of the first period. But Michael, getting into this second period, 1-0 lead for Drexel. What do you think Westchester needs to do to try and tie this game?
Westchester's got to keep doing what they were doing there at the end of the period. We talked about it, throwing pucks on net. You're facing a hot goalie right now. They had one waved off, but they didn't slumber on that, you know? That's momentum that they can still use. That, yes, it got turned over and you're still down 1-0 at the end instead of being tied, but you know what? They got something right. They were throwing pucks on net. Something I want to see from Westchester is I'm noticing Richmond is giving up some big rebounds. He's given up a lot of rebounds, so I want to see on both sides of that. I'd like to see Westchester try to capitalize on those big rebounds, but if you're a Drexel fan, you want to see Richmond start to corral those rebounds a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, for Richmond, I mean, you can't complain about anything he's done. Obviously, he had a goal taken back off the scoreboard. It was a high stick, but he's only allowed 2 through the playoffs so far. I mean, he's obviously doing something right back there, even if the rebounds are popping out a lot, but he's got his defense to help him there as we're underway here for the middle frame.
It's dumped in right away by the Golden Rams behind the net of Richmond. As we were just mentioning him, the goaltender for Drexel. As we saw that physicality start to pick up there about midway through that first period. That feeling out process took a little while to get going, but once it got going, boy, did it get going. The shots at the end of the first were 17 each as that shot was blocked and goes into the netting from the big slap shot from the point there by Hayden Surrett.
Yeah, tied shots coming into this period. I mean, Drexel had the lead in the shot category for a while throughout that first period, and then Westchester started to come back a little bit and get some good pressure, like we mentioned, going to the dirty areas, trying to get a greasy goal like you had mentioned, Michael. And as they drive into the zone now, looking to try and set up a little bit here and get some more good chances in front of the net.
That stifling defense again from Drexel. We saw it a lot in that first period, just sticks in the lanes and making it really difficult for the Golden Rams to really get any kind of momentum. But we saw it towards the end of that first period when they had the waved off goal. You mentioned it, Carolo. The shots were heavily in favor for Drexel for, I would say, 19 of the 20 minutes in the first period. And then Westchester started to pour it on. They just started throwing pucks on net. And I think that's what ultimately got them almost the goal, but the goal waved off. But it's flipped in as the Golden Rams were going for a change. Drexel getting some speed, bringing it in. Shot, big save from Rossi. There's a big juicy rebound off the shot from Kazitsky. Chance the other way. Shot goes wide, kept in by the Golden Rams. Another shot goes wide, and yet again kept in.
Yeah, that was a good deflection there for D'Alessandro looking for that one.
Off the side of the cage, and Richmond hugged the post nicely as this will come down all the way for an icing. So good chances there, you just mentioned, Carolo, for the Golden Rams.
Yeah, that was a good look there for Dominic D'Alessandro trying to find the back of the cage there. 4th in points on the team with 44 so far this season. 16 goals, 28 assists for him.
Golden Rams win the draw. Oh, Richmond couldn't find it.
Yeah, that one right off his mask.
He was looking around. Chance the other way. There was good stick there from the Golden Rams to deny the entry, but Drexel stays hungry, but it's poked away again. Now it's the Golden Rams having their sticks in the passing lanes, similarly to what Drexel has been doing for the first period and about 3 minutes into this second. Chance the other way. Shot into the midsection, covered up by Rossi. No rebound.
That's a good save there from Rossi. Got it right into the pillows there.
I believe this is the first time all game that I've seen the Westchester shot count higher than Drexel. It's 21-19. They've been throwing pucks on net as this one's pinballing around after it was deflected and blocked in front of Rossi. Good pinch, making a move. Could have been a scary collision there, almost knee to knee. Shot, good block there. Westchester has been doing a fantastic job early on of blocking shots and helping out their netminder, Rossi.
And that's one thing they did really well against Villanova in their semifinal game is getting shooting lanes and getting passing lanes to try and block chances there for the Wildcats in that game. And that's why they won that game and advanced here to the final in the first place. And they were really, really good at getting in the shooting lanes and blocking shots. There were a couple shifts where guys blocked multiple shots or even 3 shots on a single shift as it's sent into the Drexel end here by the Golden Rams.
Big battle in the corner. We've seen a clean game so far. No penalties yet, despite maybe some of the fans in attendance thinking there should have been some. Good keep in at the blue line there from McKay. High into the zone, another good keep. No, official says this one came out.
It's going to be a high stick, actually.
Oh, it's played with a high stick.
Yeah, high stick there from Westchester.
Whitaker tried to play it off the glove at the blue line, but the faceoff will come out into the neutral zone, right in front of the Westchester bench. Westchester wins another draw, but quickly turns it over, and then this one's chipped in, no icing. Westchester has been doing a fantastic job so far in the face-off dots as well, from what I'm noticing, as this puck was intercepted at the neutral zone. Another shot right into the pillows and covered up by Rossi. So kind of similar start to this second period as we had in the first, a bit of that feeling out process that we alluded to earlier. Well, they definitely picked it up in the first period, but this shot from the point into the glove will rinse and repeat right off the draw. But that feeling out process seems to be back here in the first 4 minutes almost of this second period with a 1-0 lead for Drexel. It was William Mikolas with the goal.
Yeah, Mikolas really, really good for this Dragon squad. Very, very good skater for Drexel's. That's a big bounce there off of Richmond, right off the chest protector.
And even just that, it's just a clearing attempt, but you'd have a high riser like that, makes you think as a netminder. Chance the other way for Westchester. Oh, and it was just out of the reach, and it goes for an icing against the Golden Owls, but they had almost a 3-on-2 opportunity. Some of the fans were saying, move, move, and they got maybe a little too excited seeing they had the numbers and they couldn't connect on the long pass.
Yeah, for the Rams, it was a good look there. I mean, like you said, pass just a little bit too far there as it'll come back into the Rams' face-off zone, or into their defensive zone here off that draw. They'll get it out, but either way, that was a good look going the other way. Just a little bit out of reach there for the Rams.
Well, you mentioned it in the first period, Carollo, for Westchester trying to connect on those breakout passes and try to, similarly, what they're doing right now, just as we speak. Oh, and a great chance the opposite way, but couldn't get to the back door was Sparrow for the Golden Owls. But you were mentioning having those outlet passes, try and catch Drexel sleeping a little bit and try and space them out, as Drexel has a chance the other way, but the pass was blocked. Good block there from Trent Altemos. Traffic in front, and Rossi will just put a glove on top of that.
Yeah, a couple of good back and forth chances there for the Rams as we're at the 5-minute mark here of this second period. Shots 25-22. Drexel has started to push back a little bit here.
Back and forth here in the first 5 minutes of the second. Golden Rams yet again win the draw, but again having a tough time with the forecheck of the Dragons. They swing it around their netminder and then move out at the blue line, chipping it ahead, but it was stolen away by the Dragons. Up into the air, stays in play right in front of us. staying on sides, dragging the line. Rams off the side of the cage. Hit in the corner. Dragons trying to clear the puck. Oh, big reverse hit. And the Dragons move the puck out and dump the puck in.
That was from Mikolas again.
He saw the hit coming and he just sent it back to where it came from as he had a whistle as Rossi just put a glove on a slow trickling puck on the clearing attempt. Face off to the glove side. That's the left side for Rossi. The Rams win another draw. Chipped out to the blue line. Dragons take over. They touch up and move in at the circle, but couldn't get all of it as it was sticked aside, and Rossi again will put a glove on top of that, really slowing any kind of momentum from the Dragons down.
Yeah, that was a good drive there from Surrett, flying into the zone with that look. Part of the new guard here for the Dragons, the freshman. 5th in points on the team with 26 so far this year. 14 goals, 12 assists for Hayden Surrett.
And off the netting right in front of us. There was a collision right before the red line. Face-off will be right in front of us, off to the left-hand side of our booth setup.
Yeah, almost right up against the glass. We were talking about it before the game, how all the hits right in front of us and the puck's flying at us here in front of the broadcast setup here. Almost right on the ice, pretty much.
I have to say, being this close too, you really have to appreciate how fast these kids really can move. They make such quick decisions with the puck, with their body, with their sticks. It's really fascinating to see this close to the ice, just how fast-paced this game is as this shot goes right into the midsection, right into the logo. But a good chance for Carter as he looked to the heavens as he was hungry for it. He had a golden opportunity for the Rams to try and tie this thing up.
And that shot was from Tyler Carter. Had a great look there on Richmond, but right into his chest. Got to try maybe pick a spot a little bit there. I'll take the face-off too.
This time the Dragons come up with it. It's pinned in the corner. Taken down, play continues. Out to the point for the Rams. Shot off the blocker into the far corner. Dragons flip it up and out. It was kept at just past the blue line. That was ECHA. Now it's the forecheck from the Rams that's making it difficult for the Dragons. Bouncing puck as it was deflected off a stick of the Rams. And we kind of have a ping pong action in the neutral zone as it goes back and forth. Neither team able to come up with the loose puck. Captain Harris had it for a moment, but he was being pestered by 2 and 3 Rams. Couldn't even get a shot attempt. High hit there as play goes on with the Rams trying to clear. They do so, but it's at the red line for the Dragons as they touch up and move in, as they were offside a little too early on the play. 12:19 remaining in the second period. Still 1-0 in favor of Drexel University Dragons. Face off again right in front of us to our left.
And over the last couple minutes, I mean, it's been a little back and forth, but a little sloppy between the two teams in terms of passing opportunities and trying to go the other way for each team, as nearly a penalty there. That was close on that chance, as we're going to get an icing call here on Drexel, and that was Jimmy Jacobs who took down the forward, ended up taking down Dylan Hindman. That was almost a penalty, very close. The Westchester fans wanted one. That was definitely a close call.
And I think they have a legitimate gripe there. I think that one was probably the most clear-cut one that we could have seen been called, but still the officials are letting this game go. But, you know, sometimes, high rising shot there right off the face-off. But, yeah, you know, something you have to look out for. I like to see the officials let them play. You know, certain things that are pretty blatant like that one, you could make the argument for. You know, in a finals game, 2-on-1 the other way, Dragons, backdoor, they score! 2-0 Drexel!
That was a beautiful passing sequence there. Excellent saucer pass across. Beautiful, beautiful saucer pass there from Hutchison to get it across over to Jacobs, who taps it into the back of the cage. And Drexel up 2-0 here over the number 2 Westchester Golden Rams.
That might be one of the easiest goals for Jimmy Jacobs, as he was right there on the back door, and you mentioned it, a beautiful pass from Hutchinson to just give a nice easy tap in for the assistant captain, number 18, Jimmy Jacobs, as the Dragons now extend their lead to 2.
And you got to give credit there to Latham Hutchinson. That was an excellent saucer pass. Just little flip over the stick, took his time and waited, and just saucered that over to find Jacobs. And like you said, on the back door all alone, nothing that Rossi was going to do there to make a save. He was out of position and falling down as he tried to make a glove get back over there, as there's a Westchester skater down on the ice now.
Pinball machine there, as there's a little bit of behind the play, but to finish my point before about the officials letting these guys play, you start to run a fine line where, things can get out of hand, as we are going to see some pushing and shoving, and this is where the things usually do get out of hand. After the whistles, once the goalies will cover it up, you see the pushing and shoving, and the boys feel it on the bench. They see it just like we do. Hey, if these officials aren't calling anything, well, you know what? Let's just see how much we can get away with. Frustrations and tempers start to flare, and we don't want to see that ever in any game, but especially in the finals. This game has been fantastic so far, but definitely some non-calls that could have been, but I like to see him play. I just don't want to see it get out of hand, as that one went off the rafters here at Steel Ice Arena.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything really too out of hand so far. I think the guys on the ice know the stakes, obviously. You can't afford to take a penalty after the play, unless warranted, obviously. But the guys know the stakes on the ice. They know what's at stake here for the ECHA championship. Westchester trying to go back-to-back. Drexel trying to win it as the 4 seed and knock down the 1 and the 2 in the process, which would be huge for the program, as they'll send this down for another icing here with 10:38 left to go in period number 2. They have the shot lead 27-24, as well as the 2-0 lead for the Dragons. And like I said, for both teams, the after the whistle stuff, it's going to happen. It's the championship game, and the guys or the rest letting them play so far, and the guys are going to try and take advantage of that for both teams. Have to try and kind of feel out what you can get away with here.
Absolutely. Good stretch pass there from Drexel. Oh, there's another one we'll let go, but play continues the other way. Been a good story so far. Oh, bouncing puck. Difficult on the clear attempt for Rossi, but he swipes it away with the glove and keeps things moving, as his defenseman Iquez was there. Big hit behind the play, behind the net. Does not hit the netting in front of us. All the way down. Have to touch up and regroup. 2-on-2 the other way for Drexel. Couldn't get all the shot hit off of the stick, and just goes fluttering into the glove of Rossi, as we're just over halfway through this second period. Drexel has extended their lead to 2-0 here, with the shots in their favor as well, 28-24. Lots of shots from both teams, halfway through the game, and we're looking at almost 30 apiece.
You kind of had to expect this was going to happen. Like I mentioned earlier with Westchester, you got to throw everything at Richmond. He's been spectacular through 2 games. They haven't seen him this year. Both games that they played earlier this season, Richmond did not play. So if you're Westchester, you're just throwing everything on. And same thing for Drexel right now. That's what they did against URI, where they were just throwing everything on net, and it's created chances for them.
And it's been working to this point, as they've had 14 goals Drexel have in these playoffs, and only allowing 2. What a move! Oh, what a save by Rossi, denying Hutchinson, who had the beautiful assist earlier on the second goal. Just made a beautiful move of his own to try and get his own goal. And he does so now! Just like that! Latham Hutchinson from the slot. 3-0 Dragons.
Hutchinson having himself a finals here this evening here at the Steel Ice Center. Man, what a move to try and break in and get a chance. A beautiful save by Rossi, and then Hutchison. An excellent finish there off that shot, and we're going to get a timeout here by Westchester.
I think that's a smart move, Carollo. You know, you saw your netminder as well. Rossi was hanging his head a little bit. I saw a couple players go over him, pat him on the pads, try and keep his head up, but there's still plenty of game to go. This is a good time for you to take that timeout, as Coach David Bauer does so here. Try and regroup. This game is still within reach. They have to know that. Get back to what was working for them at the end of the first period, and that's throw pucks at the net. Stop trying to make too many passes. Try not to be too cute with it, and get an ugly one. Get a greasy one. They almost did at the end of the first. It was taken away from a high stick, but you got to get down to the nitty-gritty areas if you're the Golden Rams, and if you want to try and get onto the scoreboard, as now you're facing a 3-0 deficit.
And for Drexel, this game just reminds me of last weekend against URI. It really does. I mean, going back to that game, Drexel scored early in the first and took a 1-0 lead. They played really well throughout that game. Their forecheck was really good. Westchester's offense has looked better than URI's did in that game. They just haven't had any real good opportunities to get them past Richmond. I mean, they had the one called back. So if you want to say that was their best chance, they had a couple other really good chances as well that have bounced either off the shoulder or off the mask of Richmond. But Westchester has to try and find a way to get some more offensive pressure and sustained pressure in the offensive zone, because right now the forecheck and the defensive structure for Drexel has just been eating them alive.
Right.
And you have to find a way to adjust. Coming out of this timeout, have to try and find a way to adjust in your morale on the bench and on the ice, and how you can kind of try and take it to the defense here for Drexel, as we'll get an offside here on the Golden Rams.
The shots are now up to 31-24 in favor of Drexel. You know, these 24 shots from Westchester, you know, you were just mentioning it, Carollo, not a whole lot of, you know, real pressure and real chances on Richmond. You know, the end of the first period waved off goal is the closest thing to an opportunity they have. And we're starting to see a 1-2-2 forecheck coming out from Drexel, and it's noticeable. The Golden Rams are having a hard time getting past it.
Yeah, they've had a really tough time gaining the zone here for Westchester, and that's credit to the Drexel defense. The Dragons have played really high defensively on the back check. Their defensemen playing really high, coming the opposite way, and they've been able to stop them at the blue line, and have done a great job of doing that so far. And if it does come across the blue line, they have been able to stifle them at the circles or pin it to the wall and then get pucks out quickly the other way for the forwards, as it's held onto there by Rossi.
Good wrist shot from the point there. And it's the defense, I couldn't agree more. The defense for the Dragons has really made this game what it is. And even offensively, you're seeing them join the play when necessary, not taking too many chances, keeping a ton of pucks in at the blue line. You know, it's exactly what you look for if you're a defensive coach from your defense all 200 feet of the ice. As the Golden Rams won another draw, but again, having a difficult time to exit the zone. They do so now. Odd man rush. Good move. Backhand just goes wide. That was the captain, Brennan Whitaker.
That was a good look there for Whitaker. Just couldn't get it on goal. Just put it wide on that backhand chance. Was a really good look for him. Just have to try and maybe get that on net or get some help going the other way, as now a 2-on-1 forming here.
2-on-1 for the Dragons. Good sauce pass. Couldn't get the shot. Oh, what a save by Rossi. Oh, my goodness. Rams dumped the puck in.
Nearly
going for a change.
Nearly disaster there for Drexel, or for Westchester, I should say. Nearly a fourth goal for the Dragons.
Oh, big hit in the corner. Saw it coming. Sent it right back. Oh, but he made sure that he got his lick in there. That was Anthony Sparrow, number 17 in yellow.
And going back to that save from Rossi, spectacular, spectacular. Doing everything he can in the goal right now to try and keep his Golden Rams in this game. The only thing he can't do is score, obviously, since he's backstopping them as a huge hit in the corner. My goodness, what a collision as Lazine just got rocked.
2 big hits on the play, one on the puck, and then there was one that was away from the play, too. Clear interference, but play continues. Like we mentioned, these officials are letting things go. You like to see that in a finals as the Rams have a 3-on-2 opportunity as that high shot went off the glass and comes all the way out. Rams have to touch up.
I think that might have actually caught a piece of the glove of Richmond as well. And I think that save has given Westchester a little bit of juice here. Starting to play a little bit more physical, even more than we've seen, as they'll dump this one in. But like we've said, trying to set the tone a little bit physicality-wise as they'll keep this one in here.
Crane was on the back door. He couldn't get a piece of it, but this shot off of the shoulder and covered up by Richmond. But I absolutely agree with you, Carollo. The save from Rossi, definitely his best of the night. It looks like it's lit a fire under the Golden Rams here because they're putting on some speed, some pressure, and a face-off in their offensive zone. This one will trickle in and put a glove on top as some sticks come flying at each other a little bit. We'll rinse and repeat the face-off again, do it all over again.
I mean, for Westchester, obviously frustrated would be the word right now for them. Down 3-0 here to Drexel, the 4 seed, as that shot went wide, but obviously frustrated for sure over on the bench and on the ice, and have to try and, like we've been saying, get some more offense here and get some more good chances.
And there was just 2 plays on the same shift there where there was just one too many passes for the Rams, and a good toe save went off the glass. It's bouncing around, goes into the far corner as we're under 5 minutes to play, and a whistle.
And it's going to be a hand pass.
The hand pass or the net? They're looking at the net.
Yeah, it looks like
it was a hand pass.
Yeah, it looks like it was a hand pass here on Drexel, so the faceoff will come out of the zone. Here with 4:44 left to go. Here in this middle frame, shots 34-26 in favor of the Dragons. They've really piled it on the shot department.
And they're going to get another one. This one off the midsection of Rossi as he stays big. As this puck comes out of play, right through the netting, goes into the stands for a fan.
And a fan gets a souvenir down there on the left side of us.
Man, this is a big crowd. If we look around here, we'll see if the camera will be able to pick it up once it's on the opposite end. But boy, oh boy, standing room only.
Yeah, packed house here for the Steel Ice Center.
I mean,
we saw it throughout the entire playoffs. Everyone coming out here, and it's great to see supporting the team, supporting the schools, and supporting club hockey here in the ACHA. For both these squads. I mean, obviously with 2 PA schools, that also helps it a little bit here with everybody being mostly local for the most part. But a good crowd here, great crowd here at Steel here for the final.
Rams win the draw, out to the point. Couldn't get all of the wrist shot from the point. And the Dragons move out. They dumped the puck in, bounced off of somebody, and it went into the far corner, sent all the way out. Dragons touch up and have to retreat into their own D zone. A little bit of a sloppy pass situation there, and then strong forecheck from the Rams. Seems like the Rams are sending 2 in on their forecheck, which down by 3 is not a surprise. Have to get hungry and aggressive on the forecheck, as again, Drexel defense having a stick in the lane, and it comes all the way down to the opposite end of the ice, 200 feet away from where you want to be if you're Westchester. Long stretch pass. Oh, it just tipped off the stick of Whitaker, and it will go into the glove of Richmond, covered up with 3:40 to go.
And one thing for Drexel that has been really good for them defensively, I mean, obviously, they've got a 3-0 lead right now. Their defense has been really, really good. But one thing to note about their forwards on the defensive side of the ice, they are playing excellent, and they're playing really high up at the D-men for Westchester, always sending one to pressure, hard on the pressure as well, and they get these odd man chances going out the other way because of it, or breakaway chances, or 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s, because their forwards are playing so high in the D zone and forcing the D for Westchester to back up all the way to the top of the blue line.
Yeah, just as you were talking about it, right off the draw, right out to the defenseman, forcing it out of the zone, and then almost a breakaway opportunity, but a bouncing puck was tough for them to corral, as we are now at 3 minutes to play in the middle period of play. 3-0 Dragons, the defending champs, the Westchester University Golden Rams, looking to try and get one past the hot goaltender of Richmond, as that one's off the glass and into the netting.
2:50 left to go here in this second period. I mean, it's been a good one so far. Drexel has really hemmed Westchester in their own end. Obviously, they are getting chances here and there for the Golden Rams, but not a lot of shots on goal. I mean, they're getting some from outside. It's no high danger chances. It's what's really been killing them right now is the low high danger chances. As
Here's
they get one right in
and
front.
they score just like that. We just talked about it. We alluded to it earlier in the period. You were just talking about it, and it's on the scoreboard for the Golden Rams. It's Gavin Tarati, and the Westchester crowd erupted from that goal.
Yeah, it's Hardy with a beautiful look, like I just mentioned, as he scored. High danger chance right in the low slot.
Right in the slot, just how you draw it up if you're the Golden Rams. And they're buzzing now. They win the draw right after the goal and looking for more.
Yeah, that's a perfect example there. Like I said, high danger chances. Went right to the net front off that faceoff. It bounced around, went right to the front of the net in the low slot, and found it right on a stick and puts it past the 32 of Tyler Richmond, and Westchester on the board down to a 2-goal game.
Just got to play it smart, play simple. Oh, big hit from behind. Play continues. The Drexel fans to our left were not happy. But again, these officials letting everything go. There's a hit right in front of the Westchester bench. Chance again. Lost it for a moment, back out to the point. Wrist shot from the point.
Now we're going to get a delayed penalty here.
Yep, delayed penalty. It's going to be against Drexel. The first penalty called is against Drexel, and Westchester are buzzing right now. The fans in attendance are fired up, trying to help the Golden Rams get some momentum or keep the momentum after scoring the goal, and now going on to the power play. A dangerous power play, 5th in the league. We'll see them go to work.
And for Drexel, their penalty kill currently 71st out of 81 teams in ECHA M1, so not great to say the least. Currently sitting at 10th in the ECHA, 68.1% on the PK this year.
Mishap pass there in the neutral zone as we're 90 seconds left in the second period. The penalty, didn't see what the call was, but it was Mudrick, Evan Mudrick, number 17. Is in the box for Drexel. I didn't see the motion of what the call was, but he is the one that's in the box for the Dragons. Rams try to set something up, but can't do so. Good clear for the Drexel PK. Live and die by the sword of the special teams has been the MO of Drexel pretty much all season long, as the Westchester power play iced the puck under a minute to go in the second period. 1:08 remaining in the penalty. As we are having some technical difficulties again, folks, we do apologize. Try and repair that as swiftly as possible, as the clock started to run a little bit before the puck drop. They now drop the puck. 50 seconds remaining in the middle period. Westchester move in. Try to get one on the back door, couldn't do so. Kept in by Carter, he sends it deep. Try to throw it in front. Drexel comes up with it, clearing it all the way down. 30 seconds remaining in the middle period. One last change potentially for the Golden Rams. Up at the blue line, getting some steam. 20 seconds to go as they flip it into the corner. Oh, dangerous play. No one was there for the Rams. Fortunately for Drexel, they had a man there to pin it into the corner, and now clear with just 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds, that should do it for the second period. Just wind up a big slap shot, but nothing coming from that. Wow. Second period is done. The score is 3-1 in favor of the Drexel University. 29 as well in favor of Drexel, but they will be shorthanded for 13 more seconds to start the third period. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Moments away from the third period of play. It is currently 3-1 in favor of Drexel University Dragons over the Westchester University Golden Rams. We have to apologize for the lack of camera that we're going to start this third period with. I'm going to go run it solo for the time being, give it a little radio style. We're just having some more technical difficulties with our camera, but we are underway here in the third period. Drexel wins the opening draw as they had to kill 13 more seconds on a penalty. They do so successfully with the face-off win and clear. Shots at the end of 35-29 in favor of the Dragons. They have a 3-1 lead to boot. Golden Rams, though, were buzzing there as they're buzzing now as a save from Richmond. It was a tough one. This one's coming all the way down and will be an icing against Drexel exactly 30 seconds in. But Westchester were buzzing after they called the timeout about halfway through that second period after conceding the third goal. Called the timeouts, and they got a goal late in the second period, and they really started to come back. They've been doing a good job with the faceoffs as a turning shot went right just wide of the post. Good keeping, no, but it bounced right over the stick at the point. That was the goal scorer, Brennan Whitaker, for the Rams. They retreat into their own D zone now and slow it down. Westchester move out of their D zone, banking one off the boards, try to send it in deep, couldn't do so, and now Drexel will move forward. Odd man rush as they're in the midst of a change, backhanded in front, and they score! Drexel capitalizes, and it's Evan Mudrick with the goal. 4-1, Dragons lead. Sorry again for the technical difficulties. Having more problems than you can imagine here, but we're going to try and fix up the time there. There's 18 minutes left to go. As after the goal, we lost power completely for a moment, but we're back up and running for the time being here, at least still radio style. Back in the neutral zone. Our clock is back to just about right, off by a few seconds. Well, once we get a whistle, which we do so now, we can get that squared away, and now we are back to where we're supposed to be at 17:45 remaining in the third period. Face-off won by the Rams, and a slap shot was blocked through traffic. Rams trying to put on some pressure as they're back down by a 3-goal lead for Drexel. Another shot off the blocker, big rebound. It was something that Carollo and I mentioned in the second period from Richmond, having to control those rebounds a bit more. Poked out. Westchester in the neutral zone in the midst of a change. Dumped the puck in on net of Richmond, and even that one hit off the glove and gave up a big rebound. Drexel move out of their D zone through the neutral zone. They go for a defensive change. Forward stay on. A shot into the midsection and covered up. Three minutes gone by in the third period of play. Drexel regains their 3-goal lead. It's 4-1. Shots 37-32 in the Dragons' favor as they win the draw in the offensive zone, but it was sliced out and they had to clear it in deep as the Golden Rams have possession for the time being. Good stick in the way to intercept, but the Golden Rams come out. They have numbers. Throwing one on net, and it was paddled aside. Good keeping. No, it was just across the blue line as we have an offside. Face-off won by the Rams yet again. It's very successful on the face-offs this evening. A shot and into the glove, making it look easy, was Tyler Richmond. Drexel wins this draw, try to clear it out off the boards, couldn't do so, kept in by the Rams. Bringing it down low, crashing the net, and it just goes wide. Drexel clears it out into the neutral zone as the Rams have to touch up and get onside, but a long arid pass couldn't connect in the neutral zone, and Drexel will slow things down. They whiff on a pass, on a breakout pass, and Westchester scoop up the loose puck and try to get to work on offense. They send it in deep, and the forwards go for a change. Drexel having a hard time making these outlet passes from their defensive zone. They get through the neutral zone now. They're bringing it in. Stop at the circle. Wrist shot and a good save by Rossi to deny Kozetsky. Westchester bring it in. 3-on-2. Shot into the glove and covered up by Richmond. 15:32 left in the final period of regulation. Tie up on the draw, and it went into the corner. Drexel trying to move out. It's in the corner, and they try to get it out to the point where the Rams, but it was stolen away. Awkward hit across from us at the red line. Puck is in the corner. 2-on-2. Bouncing around. Drexel come up with it and send it in deep. That was Nathan Steele. Out to the point. Backhanded in deep. 5 minutes gone by here in the third. Rams clear the puck out of their D zone and go for a change as Drexel does the same as they deflect it into the offensive zone, but out of play into the netting. Face-off in the neutral zone was won by the Rams. Oh, tangled up. Play continues. Both guys went down awkwardly on the play. Out to the point. Kept in down low. Loose stick on the ice is scooped up. That was Mudrick, who has the 4th goal for Drexel tonight. Rams clear. In the neutral zone, had a 2-on-1 opportunity, but it was denied. Good defense there from, that was Brady Doyle, number 24 for the Dragons. 6 minutes gone by. Dragons looking to slow things down. You can sense the pace from Drexel with the 3-goal lead here in the third, trying to kill some time, not get too cute with the puck. Back and forth in the neutral zone at the red line. In the feet of Hutchinson, but he comes up with it. Had to retreat in his own D zone, but he was pestered the entire way. Flipped into the net, behind the net. Dragons go in on the attack. Looking to extend a 3-goal lead. Just past the stick of Hutchinson. Behind the net, kept in, and hit the net. It was off its moorings for the whistle. 13-19 remaining in the third. Rams win the draw, sending it all the way around their net and out to the red line where the Dragons will come up with the loose puck. Chipped into the O zone by Drexel. Rams move out. They were in the middle of a change, didn't have numbers, and they turned the puck over. Rams tried to clear, couldn't do so. It's kept in at the blue line. High rising shot, saved by Rossi, and it's still loose. Good defense from the Rams to scoop up the loose puck and get it out of danger. They move in with speed, poked away. Good defense from the Dragons. Chance the other way. Toe drag move between the legs and covered up by Rossi. Nifty move there from Jimmy Jacobs, who has a goal tonight. He had the second goal. The goal scorers in order for Drexel is Mikolas, Jacobs, Hutchinson, and Mudrick. The goal scorer for Westchester was Gavin Tarity. Rams send that puck out off the boot at the red line and stolen away by the Dragons. A shot into the glove of Rossi. Strong wrist shot there from Baccarin, and it's covered up by Rossi. 12:15 remaining. Dragons are slowing this pace down with the 3-goal lead. Just trying to keep the puck 200 feet from their goalie, Richmond. Rams lose an edge behind the net and lose the puck as well in the process. Out to the point, shot blocked. Rams have been doing a great job blocking shots all night long. They have a chance the other way, they move in. Couldn't get past the D of Drexel. Cleared in, and the Rams are slowing it down as they're in the middle of a change. Slowing things down. Sloppy change from Westchester and then sloppy passing as they turn the puck over. Sent in deep by Drexel. Good keep in at the blue line by the glove of Sambuco. Dumped in again. Drexel not taking any chances here. They just get the red line or take the blue line and just dump it in deep. Even in the offensive zone as they tried to dump it in that time, but it was denied. And the Rams try to move forward. They try to chip it in, but it was chipped right back out into the neutral zone to become a tennis match. 9 minutes gone by in the final period of regulation in the ECHA finals between Drexel and Westchester, a Pennsylvania rivalry. All the way down, no icing as that puck lost its momentum. Westchester trying to set things up behind the net. They slow it down. They have all forwards in the neutral zone, 2 at the blue line, try to chip it in. And yet again, the smothering defense of Drexel steals the puck away and forces yet again another turnover. Some pushing, shoving behind the play. Chance the other way, off the blocker, and a big rebound, but couldn't capitalize on the rebound was Tarity, who has the goal for the Rams. Drexel in a change, halfway through, 10 remaining. Can Drexel hold on to the 3-goal lead and defeat the defending champs as this shot goes whizzing wide by the Rams into the corner? Stolen away, kept down low, below the goal line, in front, and it was denied. Good stick to deny the chance. This one will have enough juice, and this will be an icing. 9:36 remaining in the period. 42-38 are the shots in favor of Drexel. We mentioned the frustration building from Westchester in that second period as some of the players skating to the bench are slamming their sticks. They still have some time, but they need to get a quick one if they want to try and be the defending champions and get back-to-back championships. That was backhanded out of the zone. Westchester moves forward. High rising shot. It was blocked in traffic. Good keep in at the blue line. Wrist shot goes wide after Zach Crane kept the puck in and sent the shot whizzing past the net of Richmond. Trickling in front, and the net comes off, and we have a big pile up on the side of the cage as things are, oh man, a haymaker's thrown. Officials quickly get involved and separate everybody. The tempers are flaring. I mentioned the frustration from the Westchester side of things. Down by 3. No penalties dished out from the aftermath there. Just been one penalty against in the whole game, and it was against Drexel. Westchester won the draw, tried to get into the slot, couldn't do so. Wrist shot from the point was easily glove saved by Richmond, and he'll cover things up. Exactly 9:01 to go. Not quite 9 minutes, that 1 second, you never know. Rams win the draw. Wrist shot from the point, blocked in traffic. Still with the Rams. Another wrist shot from the point, blocked in traffic again. Now it's Drexel putting their bodies in the way to help their netminder. Another good block. Clearing attempt kept in. Rams in the corner. Poked out. But out to the blue line, and it bounces off personnel onto the Drexel bench. And I think this faceoff might stay in the O zone. It does stay in the O zone for Westchester to the left of Richmond. Drexel win the draw, send it around their net, trying to clear it, but again, good forecheck. Hungry on the puck are the Rams. Good backhand keep by Carter, but it's stolen away. Chance the other way for the Dragons to extend their lead. Take it down on the play and covered up, no call. .8:15 left in the third. We will have a face-off to the right of Rossi. Shot whizzes wide from the Dragons. They won the draw, and it was the captain, Matt Harris, who whizzed one just past the glove of Rossi. Rams move out but can't get past the red line as all 3 forwards up on the play for the Dragons. Carollo mentioned it in the second period how the forwards for the Dragons are aggressive on defense as well to really help out their 2 defensemen behind them. As that was flipped out, didn't hit the rafters here. It stayed in the arena and kept in play. Westchester starting to run out of time. Dragons move forward. Dragons are getting a couple of potential odd man rushes here, or advantages because of how aggressive Westchester is being. And a shot, big save. Ref taken out behind the play. Big save from Rossi, it's still in play. Right into the slot, but it went wide. Couldn't connect on the pass for Kazitsky. Under 7 to go. Westchester clears the D zone. Flip pass, nicely done. A 2-on-1 for Westchester in the slot. Shot, save! And the rebound is saved. Tyler Richmond, are you kidding me? Another one, a fourth save from Richmond, and the net comes off. Hands are flying. Tyler Richmond standing on his head, ladies and gentlemen, as he's done all playoffs long for these Dragons. What a story for Richmond and these Dragons looking to defeat the defending champs. Tyler Richmond wasn't even on the roster at the beginning of the year. He was called up from the M2 team midway through the season, having some injury problems for Drexel, but anytime he's been called upon, he has stood tall, and he's done so beautifully all playoffs long. As we approach the final 6 minutes of play in the third, Drexel holding on to a 3-goal lead. It's 4-1. Drexel's bench wanted too many men on the ice, but play continued. Flipped in at the red line. Just past the paddle of Richmond. On the side of the cage, poking, and covered up by Richmond. Shots are almost even. It's 44-43. Westchester still trying to find the back of the net, but Richmond has been standing tall. They win the draw. Shot through. Big pad save from Richmond. Long stretch pass. Chance the other way. Drexel backhand save. What a save by Rossi. Not out of danger yet, as the Rams will try to slow things down. Good poke to get it out of the zone, but it's still with the Dragons. They dump it in, have to touch up. Under 5.5 to go. The defending champs running out of time as they chip it into the O zone, go for a change, and get strong on the forecheck. Kept in nicely at the blue line, poked aside by Richmond into the corner. Stolen away. Stolen right back. Shot blocked. Another good block from Drexel. That was Mudrick. Bouncing around in the slot and covered up by Richmond. 5 minutes remaining, 4:59 to be exact. We'll keep an eye on Rossi to see when Coach Bauer may make him come to the bench for the extra attacker. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down by 3. They win the draw. Another good block. There's a broken stick on the ice. It's from Drexel. It's Hutchinson. He's without a stick. Rossi stays put for now in the crease. Shot one time and a big save. Out of play off the netting. Beautiful chance from the Rams, but Richmond closes the door, denying a great opportunity, a one-time blast from the slot. Dragons win the draw, but stolen away quickly. Another one into the slot, back into the near corner. Dragons can't clear. They do so successfully here. Oh, wait, we got a wrestling match behind the play. Whistles are going. Fists are flying. Helmets are off. The official's trying to tackle the guy off. My goodness. Who do we have involved in this? Tiberio for Drexel. And Thurolf for the Rams. Let's see what comes of this. Both 28s, number 28s were tangled up, or excuse me, it's 28 for Westchester and 26 for Drexel. Both are going to the box. Well, officials are gathering to see if they both get headed to the showers early. We'll see what comes out of this. Both guys standing in the boxes, respectively, their respective boxes, and they're still chirping each other. The tempers flaring, things getting feisty here in the finals. Both have 2 minutes, I assume, for roughing. It was definitely roughing behind the play. Looks like we'll go 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Face off at the neutral zone. Dragons win it, but they were pressured all the way back into their own defensive zone. They take the red line, flip it in. Both guys confirmed for roughing. Westchester slowing it down. 4-on-4, more ice. Let's see what they could do. That was chipped. No, it is icing. 4 minutes remaining in the third. Drexel trying to deny the repeat champs from becoming back-to-back champs. Drexel just in their first season in the ECHA. And they've had a great story. The number 4 seed dominated George Mason in the quarterfinals, a 9-1 victory, and then the big upset over the number 1 seed Rhode Island as they were victorious 5-1 in that. So they've been scoring in bunches throughout these playoffs. Drexel steals it in the neutral zone, flip it in. 25 seconds left, a 5-on-5. Or excuse me, a minute 10. I was looking at the number. Dumped in by Westchester. And cleared out. Breakaway. Drexel. Backhand denied by Rossi. Rebound chance denied as well as Jimmy Jacobs was looking for his second of the night. Jimmy Jacobs head to the ceiling, shaking his head. Can't believe he was denied by Rossi. He takes the draw but loses it as the Golden Rams will come up with it, and Rossi looks at the bench but will stay put for the time being as we are now at 3 minutes to go in regulation. Dragons move out. Over to the hash marks. And crashing into the net. Rossi's down. Slow to get up. Play continues the other way. Westchester's shot goes wide. Rossi seems to be shaken up. He's up in his crease. A chance the other way. Oh, and he flips the net over. A la Henrik Lundqvist. Flips the net, and oh my goodness, we got a pile up in front of the Westchester bench, taking exception to their goaltender being run over. Rossi flipped the net out of frustration after being interfered with. What's going to come out of this? My goodness. We're going to have an exciting last 2:39 here of this game. You gotta understand Rossi's frustration as he was taken out on the play. The officials didn't do anything, took matters into his own hands and flipped the net over. Officials are gathered together, see what comes of this. There's still 16 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey to go. Unfortunately, without the camera this third period, we do apologize for the technical difficulties. We will not be able to recover the video feed for the remainder. It was a broken cable, so unfortunately not much we can do when we have broken cable there. So we do deeply apologize for the lack of video here for the third period. I hope I've been doing my best for keeping you guys into the game as best as I can, radio style. And we're gonna have a penalty shot here. We have a penalty shot for Drexel. Kozitsky, one-on-one with Rossi. Comes out wide. Shot and a save by Rossi as he shakes his head at the officials in frustration. So the penalty shot awarded for Drexel after Rossi flipped the net over on a breakaway was the only call on the play. Drexel wins the draw. Shot. Another save from Rossi. Rams move out. Long sauce pass through the neutral zone. 5 seconds left on the 4-on-4 coincidental minors, and we're back to 5-a-side. Both guys go to their respective benches as we approach 2 minutes of play. Chance for the Dragons again. Rossi was looking to the bench. Off his blocker, he makes a save. Rams move out. Rossi stays put. Denied by the defense of the Dragons. Under 2 to go. Defending champs are down by 3. Flipped out. Stays in play. Stayed low enough, didn't hit the ceiling here at Steel Ice Arena. Drexel scoops up the loose puck. Chance, one-time save by Rossi and covers up. Shots are 51-47 in favor of Drexel. Both goaltenders seeing a lot of frozen rubber tonight. Rams win the draw. Flip it all the way out. Almost hit the official. All the way down. No icing. Good hustle from the Rams to negate it. Rossi stays put. It looks like they're going to keep him in net despite being down 3 in the finals. Wrist shot goes wide. Battle in the corner. 3 guys for the Rams. Excuse me, 2. It was a 2-on-2. The yellow stripe from the Drexel uniform threw me off. Out to the point. Back to the hash marks. Last minute of play. Shot. Oh, through traffic off a boot, and it goes into the corner. Drexel are 50 seconds away from beating the defending champions. Rams still pushing. Not giving up. 45 seconds to go. Out to the top of the key. And blocked again. Rams keep it in deep. No, and it's taken out. Rossi has to come out and play the puck. He sends it around. Under 30 to go. Drexel gets one more change. They chip it in. They're offside. They have to touch up. Rams slow it down behind their net. Drexel's fans starting to stand and clap and cheer. The guys on the ice are clapping their sticks. They're 10 seconds away from being crowned champions. 5 seconds to go. It's out. Harris has it, flips it away, and the gloves and sticks are flying for the Drexel University Dragons. They are ECHA champions. In just their first season in the league, what a phenomenal run, a phenomenal story for the Dragons, for the senior netminder, Tyler Richmond, who only allowed 3 goals all playoffs long. A 4-1 victory for the Dragons. They are your ECHA champions. 51-47 shots. Final score 4-1 for Drexel. Your champions, as they are still mobbed behind the net, giving Richmond all the love that he deserves after standing tall all playoffs long, facing 47 shots and denying 46 of them tonight in victory. As on the other side of things, Westchester, a couple guys hugging together. They're patting their goalie on the back because he saw a lot of rubber as well. 51 shots towards him but nothing to hang your heads at if you are Westchester, because you faced one of the hottest goalies in the league and a phenomenal run for these Dragons to defeat the defending champions here in the finals. They defeated the first seed in the semis to get here and then beating the defending champions. What a phenomenal story for the Drexel University Dragons. You love to see, despite the grittiness, the pushing and shoving, the extracurriculars, the sportsmanship, the handshakes, the handshake line, and even some extra handshakes after, separately, the sportsmanship. Both teams, they both made it here for a reason. They both understand the grind and the hustle that it took both of these teams to get here, as Drexel's are grouping up together over at the blue line to celebrate. We're going to have our ceremony in just a moment. What a phenomenal run. What a phenomenal game from both teams. Just a fantastic hockey game. If you're a hockey fan, you have to just love what both of these teams went through.
First, at forward with 3 games played, 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points from Drexel, number 18, Jimmy Jacobs.
Jimmy Jacobs from Drexel being awarded to the all-tournament team. Rightfully so, led the league with playoff points.
With 3 games played, 0 goals, 5 assists for 5 points from Drexel, number 5, Adam Lazine.
Lazine also awarded with 5 assists, the same number on his uniform. 5 assists, 5 points.
Also at forward with 3 games played, 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points from Westchester, number 9, Logan Meyer.
Logan Meyer for Westchester being awarded to the team as well. 3 games, 5 points. He was the one that was hurt early in the first period, so unfortunately not able to accept his award, but a teammate will.
With 2 games played, 3 goals, 1 assist for 4 points from Villanova, number 27, Damian Peretti.
Villanova, Damian Coretti was awarded as well.
With 3 goals, 3 games played, 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points from Westchester, number 3, Connor Stratton.
Connor Stratton, number 3 for Westchester, also being awarded to the team. 5 points in 3 games.
Next in goal, with 3 games played, a 2-1 record from Westchester, number 35, Jake Rossi.
Jake Rossi, the netminder for Westchester, being awarded to the team. 2-1 and 0 record here in the playoffs.
And your tournament MVP in goal with 3 games played, a 3-0.
And our tournament MVP, I don't think there's any surprise. It's Tyler Richmond. The fans knew it before the announcement even was made. Tournament MVP, Tyler Richmond, the senior, shutting the door, only allowing 3 goals in the entire tournament. Captain Matt Harris goes to take a picture with the cup, and he'll be the first to celebrate after pictures are taken. Pictures are taken. He's got the cup, and he is swarmed by the rest of the Dragons. What a moment. Jumping up and down, cheering at center ice with the cup. Your Drexel University Dragons are your ECHA champions with a 4-1 victory defeating the Westchester University Golden Rams. My name is Michael Nistico. Thank you guys for tuning in and staying with us despite the technical difficulties. We appreciate all of your love and support, and we will see you next time here on YouTube.